Binize 5-inch motorcycle CarPlay screen promises car-level smart navigation on your handlebars. Either we've reached true plug-and-ride simplicity or we're strapping an expensive distraction to our bikes. On paper, it's a 5-inch IPS display, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, IP67 weatherproofing, glove-friendly touch, Bluetooth to your helmet comms, and a bright screen that claims to fight noon sun. Sounds criminally generous for the size. But here's the thing, motorcycle use is brutal on electronics and marketing numbers rarely survive wind, rain, and vibration. I bolted this to my bars, rode city streets and highways, and lived with it on daily commutes and weekend runs. I've put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 3 weeks of testing. Here's what the Binize 5-inch motorcycle CarPlay screen claims to do. It turns any bike with a 12V feed into a smart cockpit, giving you turn-by-turn via CarPlay or Android Auto, music and calls through your helmet Bluetooth, and a waterproof, sunlight-treatable touchscreen you can operate in gloves. The key marketing promises are wireless CarPlay and Android Auto with fast auto reconnect, high-brightness anti-glare 5-inch screen built for daylight, IP67 weatherproofing with sealed ports, simple install with included bar mount and stable performance at speed. Sounds perfect for daily riders, right? But here's where things get interesting. Reality check. They claim instant wireless CarPlay pairing. What you actually get is a 10 to 20 second auto reconnect after ignition and about 30 to 45 seconds on a true cold boot. That's fine for most, but not exactly instant. Here's why. The unit has to power up its Wi-Fi hotspot. Your phone has to handshake both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, then launch CarPlay. That dance just takes time. They claim a sunlight-treatable display. What you actually get is good but not miraculous visibility. In overcast or morning light, it looks great. At noon, with the sun hitting it directly and a glossy visor, readability drops. With polarized sunglasses, the screen darkens at certain angles. Evidence: I rode with 2 helmets, 1 clear visor, 1 polarized sunglasses. Turning the screen 10 to 15 degrees helped but didn't eliminate glare. It's likely around the 700 to 850 nit range in real use, not a miracle worker. The included sunshade helps a bit, not a lot. They claim glove-friendly touch. Reality: it works with touch-capable gloves, but thick winter gloves require firmer presses, and in heavy rain I saw the occasional ghost touch when big droplets hit the screen. That's not unusual for capacitive panels on bikes, but it's worth noting. Voice control via Siri or Google Assistant is still your best friend at speed. They claim IP67 waterproofing. Reality: the enclosure and screen seal held up during a 20-minute rain ride and a hose test at a low spray angle. No fogging or water ingress on the panel. Here's the catch. The rubber cover over the power and AUX ports must be seated perfectly. On one ride, a slightly misaligned flap let a few drops into the connector cavity. It didn't fry anything, but it's a risk if you yank cables frequently. Route your wiring downwards to create a drip loop and you'll be fine. They claim stable Bluetooth audio to your helmet. Reality: when paired to a Sena and a Cardo, music and calls were solid 95% of the time. The hiccup is the first minute after startup, where you might hear a brief stutter if your phone is also reconnecting to your smartwatch or bike's own Bluetooth. Once settled, latency is low enough for nav prompts to feel timely. The built-in speaker is there, but at 60 mph with earplugs, it's basically decoration. They claim a simple, stable mount. Reality: the included handlebar clamp with a ball joint works, but on rough roads you'll see micro vibrations that blur small text. It's rideable, but if your bars transmit buzz, consider upgrading to a ram ball with a rubber isolator. Also, the power lead is a bit stiff. Zip tie it with slack to avoid tugging the unit. Here's where things get interesting. Boot behavior depends on your bike's switched power. If your ACC line cuts the moment you hit the starter, the Binize may begin to boot, lose power, and then reboot. Result: a longer wait. A $10 relay or a delay module solves this, but it's a factor the marketing doesn't mention. Sound quality: through Bluetooth to helmet comms, voice prompts are clear and music is as good as your headset. No hiss, no weird EQ. The unit itself is not an audio upgrade, it's a pass-through controller. The 3.5 mm AUX out is handy if your intercom supports it, and it's quieter than FM transmit options, which I wouldn't recommend on a bike anyway. Screen and visibility: the 5-inch IPS panel is sharp and colorful. Maps look crisp, but tiny text in some apps gets hard to read at speed, especially with vibration. Compared to a 7-inch CarPlay screen like CarPlay, this Binize is more compact and easier to mount on crowded bars, but you trade some legibility. I measured boot to CarPlay at roughly 35 seconds on a cold start, 15 seconds on warm auto reconnect. Build quality. The housing feels solid, buttons have a firm click, and the IP-rated seals are decent. The weakest link is the port flap and the stock mount's vibration resistance. Cable strain relief is okay, not stellar. No obvious dropshipping vibes, packaging and instructions are competent. Connectivity and stability. Wireless CarPlay and Android Auto both worked, but Android phones can be pickier with permissions and background battery settings. Once dialed, it was reliable. If your phone overheats in a tank bag on summer rides, expect CarPlay to pause until the phone cools. That's a phone limitation, not the screens, but it impacts the experience. What nobody tells you. Rain can register as touches. Lock your screen by relying on voice where possible. Polarized sunglasses can dim or rainbow the display at certain angles. Rotate the mount slightly. Reviews across multiple listings consistently praise ease of install and wireless freedom while calling out occasional random reboots in glare and harsh sun. My experience matched that pattern. Recommendation: buy with caution for the right rider. If you want quick, wireless CarPlay or Android Auto on a budget and you're comfortable tidying up a few install quirks, the Binize 5-inch Motorcycle CarPlay Screen delivers legit value. Pros: compact footprint, solid wireless performance once connected, weather resistance that actually holds up, and easy day-to-day use with voice control. Cons: not truly instant pairing, sun glare with polarized lenses, stock mount vibration, and rain-induced ghost touches. Price floats well below dedicated Moto nav units like Garmin Zumo XT2, but you're relying on your phone for maps and data. Worth it if you want modern apps on your bars without dropping big money. Stay savage out there. Thanks for watching. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I've put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. Drop your questions below, tell me what bike you're running this on, and let me know if you want a direct comparison against the 7-inch alternatives or the Zumo XT2. New deep dive drops next week. Ride smart, ride safe, and keep the rubber side down.